Hello e buongiorno from Sterling Heights, Mangiabeve, urban Italian. We're a brand new restaurant. We just barely opened 2 months ago. My name is Mauro Querio. I'm 100% Italian. Today I'm gonna do one of my favorite recipes. My mother actually recipe is tiramisu. I made it with mascarpone, eggs, sugar, coffee, all stuff you can find in the local store. Next door to us is Ventimiglia. You can buy the Ladyfingers to Ventimiglia. You can get the mascarpone to Ventimiglia. They don't sell liquor, but you can get some brandy. That's what I use to garnish my espresso coffee. Espresso coffee also you can buy next door or to any local store. Okay. In case you wonder, who's this beautiful lady behind me? Her name is Flavia. Flavia Cosolo. She's the daughter of the man who created the first tiramisu. The recipe I'm doing today has got nothing to do with the recipe father created many years ago. She's gonna be really upset about that. But maybe the next segment we can do is do the original tiramisu. So to start, what do you need for a tiramisu? You need eggs, Savoiardi or Ladyfingers, mascarpone, sugar, coffee, KitchenAid. Most of the household has a KitchenAid, measuring cups, spoon, ladle, spatulas, and if you don't have one of these restaurant fancy tray, you can buy an aluminum one. It's a half pan, 2-inch, a container to pour the coffee, and a coffee maker, of course. Everybody has a coffee maker. I use espresso coffee because it has to be a strong taste. How much coffee? So just to make sure, I use a measuring cup just to give you an idea how much coffee you're gonna need. So it's about, I will say, a good liter. Okay, so how much is a liter? Is a quart of a gallon. In the quart of a gallon, you're gonna pour the brandy. How much brandy? I would say half a cup, 3/4 cup is good enough to make it taste. Sugar doesn't need to be added. Where you're adding the sugar is with the eggs. The reason why I'm pouring the coffee right now is because I want the coffee to cool off in a room temperature because it's very hot. And then I'm gonna put it in these containers. Like you can tell, it's steamy, it's still very hot. And it's got beautiful smell from the brandy and from the espresso. We're gonna put this over here. Then we're gonna start with the second part, which is the fun part. Eggs. I was lucky enough this week to get some eggs from a local farmer. My friend Derek Gentile, he owns like a small farm, and he got these beautiful eggs. Look at this. Right in Rochester Hills, different colors. How many eggs? For this recipe, you just need about 8 eggs. Large, if you don't find it, it goes on a bowl. Make sure you don't leave any shells. Both white and the yolk. In some recipe you find they tell you to whip first the. Look at this. This is, you can tell this is homemade because the shell is so hard. In some recipe they tell you to whip first the white and then the yolk separate. I do it completely different, and I'm gonna show you the result. It's pretty much the same. Here we got 8 eggs. And a little piece of shell went in it. And that's why you want to wear gloves. Beautiful. Now you're adding the sugars. How much sugar? This is 1 cup of sugar for 8 eggs. You put it right on it. And you start mixing. You want to start slow because you don't want to overwhelm the bowl. And what you're doing with this is just whipping the eggs. It will take about 5 to 7 minutes to get the eggs whipped. You try to make a custard with the raw eggs and the sugar. You can start this getting built up, building like a beautiful color, which is an orange. In the meantime I do that, I can measure the mascarpone. So for this recipe with the 8 eggs, to do quarter tray or alpha tray, I would say. Well, when we do the recipe at the restaurant over here, we use 5 pounds of mascarpone and 30 eggs, 4 cup of sugar. But for this one, it's completely different. We're gonna use half a kilo, 1 pound of mascarpone cheese. Almost there. So you can buy actually the 500 grams or a pound at the store, and you don't have to buy a big tub, which is cost efficient for you. And like you can tell from the whipping, we made a nice cream with the eggs. We're almost there. At this point, I'm slowing down. I'm gonna add part of the mascarpone. Lock it in, start slow. Let them combine all together with the eggs. Add another part of the mascarpone. Take your time. You don't want to make a mess in the kitchen, and clean up after. You do it exactly the same. You just repeat it. You build it up. One of the things my mom used to eat when she was doing the tiramisu was the fact that the kids were around the house, and what we do was very simple. You have to taste how's everything going. If you have the right amount of sugar, if you have the right amount of coffee and brandy. So we used to do this. She was getting really mad. Almost there. Beautiful. In the meantime, I'm going to open the Savoiardi, which is going to be soaked in espresso. Beautiful. It looks nice, the color is nice. The consistency looks almost there. We give him another whip, and we're ready to go to assemble the tiramisu. Beautiful. This is what you want to look for. Nice cream like this. And of course, we have to taste it again. We're there. Perfect. Let's go. Okay. I'm very picky when it comes to do this part. Savoiardi's got a sugar. One side, nothing another. They're cooked like this. The sugar is basically put right on top of it. What you want to do, you want to soak your Savoiardi like this. And put them down. Just in and out. You don't want to put too much coffee. Take your time. If you run out with coffee, you just add a little bit more coffee, more brandy. This is a dessert, it's really forbidden to make mistakes, so it allows you to make mistakes. And if you don't like brandy, you can use another liquor. It can be Kahlua, or it can be Frangelico, or anything you like, Marsala wine. The question will be, how long this tiramisu stays in the refrigerator? Well, because the raw eggs, I will say consume it in the next 5 days. But the best result you can get from the tiramisu, believe it or not, if you freeze it before you consume it. Put it in the freezer, freeze it for a couple of days, then take it out, cut it when it's still kind of frozen, and you can make beautiful squares. Now, for the mascarpone part, look at this. Perfect. Can't believe it, we did this in just 5 minutes. It was very simple. So it's about, let's say, 6 ounces. I will put about 2.5. And then grab my spatula and spread it around, holding it like a baby. Of course, you maybe don't want to do this at home, but just for the camera, you get a good visual. They don't have to be perfect. Just make sure it goes everywhere. So now, what we do, we repeat the same thing. And I'm gonna go just a different direction. I'm gonna go this way. I know what you're thinking, Flavia. I should have done your tiramisu, but next time. Flavia's dead recipe is completely different. Actually, it doesn't have no coffee. And they use a sponge cake, soaked in Marsala wine. And is the oldest recipe ever reported. His father was the first one to create it, the tiramisu the way he created. And I was the first chef allowed to making Mario Cosolo tiramisu. She came in the United States in 2016 in New York, Canada, the Italian American Culture Center, at the Fogolar Furlano in Windsor. We have beautiful dinners. She told the story about her father, and the tiramisu, which is the most copied dessert in the world. And this recipe actually comes from Treviso, which is by Veneto region, northeast Italy, a restaurant called the Beccheria. Originally, the dessert was called tronchetto di mascarpone, mascarpone break. They kind of stole the name from the tiramisu because one of the cooks worked for Mario, Flavia's dad. I think it was a good name for this dessert. So it was a controversy for many, many years. Beautiful. Coffee can go. It's finished. Like I said, we're kind of on the money with the coffee and the brandy. We use about a pack, so you can have something for breakfast tomorrow. And again, we're gonna put a nice amount of mascarpone. What tiramisu means in Italian brings me up, right? Yeah. Well, with all this coffee and the brandy, for sure. This is a beautiful recipe you can do with your kids. It's simple, they're gonna like it, they're gonna love it. You're gonna impress your guests for your dinner. You can put them in a glass too. You can put them in a cup and have the same type of assembling instead of having a tray like this. And you can have small glasses. I give it a good shake. And it's ready to go. Well, we cover up and we put it in the freezer at the restaurant. And then when it's ready, we take it out and we finish it with the cacao. And you're getting your tiramisu.